Thank you guys for watching 101 basic tool usage. This one I'm going to cover your wrenches that you use from day to day to mechanic, and maybe go over each one. Here we have the pipe wrench. This, of course, is a smaller size. And then you have your crescent style or adjustable wrench. You have your combination here, dog bone style here. It kind of looks like a dog bone. That's why they got the nickname there. The combination. Then you have your combination with a ratchet wrench. This one actually ratchets on the inside of that one. Then you've got your actual ratchet wrenches that you have to use sockets with, and I'll go over those and how they're nice to have. Of course, these are different tools that can be used, extensions that you can use with sockets. And this one here is actually an oil filter wrench. It's an adjustable one that I actually use quite a bit, and it helps remove the oil filter of different sizes. So let's get right to it and start talking about these wrenches. Okay, first we'll start off with the pipe wrench. This one is you almost have to use this with plumbing. It just it'll actually grip the pipe. And I'll use my extension here just to give you an example. I have it adjusted to where it'll go over this pipe, and you can actually drop the handle, and it's gripping that pipe. So it comes in great when you're trying to turn pipes or joints that fit onto pipes. So it's an adjustable, so you can adjust it out. You can adjust it smaller or larger, whichever you want, much like the crescent wrench that I'll show you here in a minute. But these things are powerful tools. Of course, when you apply pressure, it grips down on the pipe even tighter, as you can see here in this motion. So these are pipe wrenches are a must-have, especially if you're doing any kind of plumbing on your house. And so I just brought this little one out here so you could get an idea of what that is. Then we're going to use here's an adjustable wrench, and I believe I showed this in one of my other videos, but it's just great for if you can't find a wrench that'll fit it very quickly, or it's not very tight. These wrenches work really good. Sometimes people use them instead of the actual size of wrench like I have here. So uh, it's up to you. I know sometimes it's just easier to grab one of these and take off and say, okay, I got my tools. And sometimes it does a lot for you, but it's not the best at turning bolt heads, just because it has a potential of getting loose, and you're constantly maybe readjusting it to where it fits it every time. So it can get aggravating after a while if you have a lot of bolts to turn or nut heads to turn. So anyway, this is your crescent style wrench or adjustable wrench for that kind of use. I have a larger one here as well. So if you have really large things you got to turn, this comes in really handy, gives you better leverage. The adjustable wrench, as I mentioned, dog bone style wrench. These you've got to have these, especially if you're turning nut heads, working on cars or small projects. These come in or bicycles. These come in really handy. Then you have the combination closed end and open end wrench on here. The closed end comes in really great because it goes all the way around the bolt itself, and it just it fits on it. It's not going to slip off. And whereas if you do this way, it might slip off easier than it would. But sometimes you have to use this end because that's the only end that you can get into behind it with, because sometimes it might be obstructed and you can't get the whole box end wrench. But in any case, anytime you can actually get the box end on the nut, do it. You're going to have a lot better results. And these come in different sizes, of course. And I will show you a little tip. Sometimes you need a lot of leverage to actually to pull and loosen a bolt off. So lots of times I'll grab two wrenches, I'll interlock them like this, and put in there, and then see you have a lot longer wrench to work with. You got more leverage. You're grabbing back here and you're turning that bolt. Sometimes if you need a little bit more leverage and it doesn't feel like you got enough strength, then just lock that wrench in there and you got extra leverage. Then we're going to move on to the ratchet wrenches. These, of course, don't do much by themselves, but whenever you add a socket to them, they're wonderful. This one here is actually an old wrench my father left me. This is a Wizard brand. It's kind of old. It's over 50 years old, if that helps you out. Anyway, this one, still a good ratchet. Never have had it, haven't had to have it fixed. I never have had to have it fixed, I should say. And this one is the same size as this nut head, and I was going to just give you a demonstration. This is how these do. And now these only go one certain way, so it slips going that way, and then it grabs going that way. And you can always adjust it to go the other way by just flipping the lever or turning the top of the head. I have another style here. It has the lever that's like that. You can turn it that way, and it goes one direction, and then you can turn it that way, and then, of course, it goes the other. And then one of my favorites, and I think it's because I like the leverage that it gives me. And this is a little over, I'd say it's about 13, 14 inches long. It gives me a lot of leverage with the 3/8 socket head here, which is the kind of socket I just showed you on this other wrench. And then at the bottom end of it has a quarter inch wrench. So I never really need the leverage for the quarter wrench, but sometimes it's nice to have if you got a really long reach. You got to get somewhere that's really hard to get to. These are fairly inexpensive at Harbor Freight. They don't last long if you use them a lot, but I just like the leverage that it gives me. So I've already ruined one of them. It lasted me 2 or 3 years of not everyday use. So anyway, then you got larger wrenches that have like a 1/2 inch drive on them, and they take a larger socket, but they're for the more heavy duty type repairs you would do on a car or a truck, and it just takes a little bit more strength. You don't, it would probably break something that was a 3/8 drive, so you get a bigger 1/2 inch drive, and that's usually that goes for more of your like 1 inch sockets or higher. These come in really handy for that. And as I mentioned before, we got a extension here, and I'll just show you. Sometimes when you're trying to get your socket on a bolt head, it's just too far away or too hidden into a valley of an engine or whatever, and then you put this extension on there, or if it might be a situation you just can't reach it with a ratchet, it gets in the way, so you need to bring the turning point further away from it. These work great, and this is actually what I use when I'm using this next tool I'm going to show you, which is the oil filter wrench. I put the head of this in there, which it allows me to reach way up into where the oil filter is, and this will actually grab, as you turn it, this will actually grab down to whatever size the oil filter is. So it's multiple sizes uh, that will tighten or loosen an oil filter wrench. And I am not by any means promoting any of these products that I've mentioned to you. They just they're what I use, and they come in handy for me. I know if you're going to do mechanic repairs, you might want to get a brand such as, this Snap-on, which they're fairly expensive tools, but they work really well. They have lifetime warranties. You can also get Craftsman if you don't want to pay as much. And there's other tools that have lifetime warranties as well that you can get on other outlets or stores. But anyway, this is how you use each of these wrenches. I didn't go into major in depth of them, but uh, I think this is a good overview of the types of use for these wrenches that I've just shown you. So thank you for watching the 101 series. Catch me next time as I delve into other tools that you can use.